Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Future of Tech podcast, episode 151. I'm Mark.
And I'm Jenny. Mark, I've been seeing these numbers flying around about the cloud security software market, and they're pretty substantial.
Oh man, this is exciting stuff. We're talking about a market that's projected to jump from roughly $46 billion this year to almost $70 billion by 2032. That's a pretty hefty chunk of change, right?
It definitely sounds significant, but I did notice some reports out there have even higher numbers, like maybe north of $150 billion by 2030 or 2032. Why the big difference there?
That's a really good question, Jenny. And it often comes down to what exactly is being included in that market definition. Is it just the software itself, or are they factoring in the services, regional differences, specific subsegments within cloud security? Different research firms use different methodologies, which can definitely lead to varying projections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not just one static picture.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not just one big, simple bucket. So what's really driving this growth? Is it purely just more and more people moving stuff to the cloud?
That's a big part of it, for sure. The rapid digitization across almost every industry is pushing more and more data and operations into the cloud. 4. But it's also the flip side of that. The rise in cyber threats is making businesses realize security isn't some kind of optional extra anymore. It's essential, like foundational. 4. You can't really function without it now.
Right. It feels like you can't go a week without hearing about, another data breach or some kind of incident. Are regulations playing a role too, like things like GDPR?
Absolutely. Regulations are a huge driver. 4. They're essentially mandating stronger data protection across the board. Companies are quickly realizing that non-compliance can cost them a lot more, like significantly more, than actually investing in good security up front. It's a penalty versus prevention calculation.
That's a very solid point. So, with all this growth in these drivers, are there still significant challenges? Because it can't be all smooth sailing, can it?
Oh man, here's the thing about rapid growth. It always brings its own set of challenges. One is definitely the cost source data. Implementing and then maintaining robust cloud security can be expensive, especially for smaller businesses who might not have huge IT budgets.
I can see that. Security isn't a one-time purchase. It's an ongoing investment, like renewing your antivirus every year, but on a massive scale. And I bet there's a lot of competition out there as well.
Intense competition. Source data. You have the established IT giants, the big names that have been around for ages, Microsoft, IBM, who are now heavily investing in cloud security offerings. It's like a classic movie showdown, but happening in the digital realm, with firewalls and encryption keys as the weapons of choice.
That's a good analogy. Speaking of different players, are there any regional differences in how this market is shaping up around the world?
Yeah, definitely. North America is currently leading the pack in terms of market share. They had a bit of a head start, with existing IT infrastructure and early cloud adoption. But Asia Pacific is catching up really fast. Think about the rapid industrialization and digital transformation happening there. Source data, especially in places like India and China, it's creating a huge, increasing demand for cloud security solutions.
That makes a lot of sense. Different regions at different stages of digital maturity. Are there any particularly interesting trends emerging that you think are really changing the dynamic?
Oh man, this is where it gets really interesting. AI and machine learning are becoming integral to security solutions. 4. They're helping with things like detecting unusual activity, anomaly detection, and even automating responses to threats faster than a human could possibly react.
AI and security. That sounds incredibly powerful. But are these AI solutions actually preventing the most sophisticated, zero-day attacks?
That's the goal, right? They're getting significantly better at identifying subtle patterns that might indicate a novel threat that humans might miss. Another big trend we're seeing is the rise of multi-cloud environments. Businesses aren't just using one cloud provider anymore. They're often using several, maybe AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all at once. 4.
Okay, wait, let me get this straight. Companies are juggling AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, maybe even some smaller ones, all simultaneously? How do you even begin to secure that kind of sprawl?
Exactly. It creates a significant security challenge. You need unified security solutions that can work across these different platforms seamlessly without creating new blind spots. Cloud IAM, or Identity and Access Management, is becoming incredibly important for managing who has access to what across these various environments. 1, 2. It's about controlling that access point.
Cloud identity and access management. So it's getting more complex as the cloud landscape itself gets more complex. Looking ahead, what else is on the horizon for cloud security? Just more AI? Something entirely different?
I think we'll definitely see AI continue to evolve and become even more sophisticated, perhaps even integrating things like blockchain for enhanced data integrity and verification in the future, especially for critical systems. The threat landscape is always changing, right? So security has to keep pace. It's a constant, sometimes exhausting, evolution source data.
It certainly sounds like job security for security professionals. Beyond the immediate tech, though, are there maybe ethical considerations we should be thinking about as security becomes more pervasive?
Absolutely, that's a critical point. With increased security, often comes the potential for more data collection and monitoring of user activity. We need to be incredibly mindful of balancing robust security measures with individual user privacy. Where's that line? How do we ensure security measures don't go too far and potentially infringe on people's rights or create systems of mass surveillance, even unintentionally?
That's a crucial point. It feels like a constant line-walking exercise. So to kind of wrap things up for our listeners today, the cloud security market is experiencing significant growth, driven by the overall increase in cloud adoption and the constant evolution of cyber threats. It faces challenges like the cost of implementation and intense market competition, with exciting trends like the use of AI and the need for security solutions in complex multi-cloud environments really starting to shape the future. Does that about sum it up?
Pretty much. It's an incredibly dynamic space, and staying informed is absolutely key for anyone operating in the cloud, which, let's be honest, is most businesses now. Whether you're a business owner looking to secure your critical data, or just a tech enthusiast watching these trends unfold.
Great insights today, Mark. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure, Jenny. And thank you all for listening. We really appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you next time on The Future of Tech.
Bye, everyone.